Beloved community of St. Paul's, I am choosing to send you a video today because I have important news to share with you. As you know, I was on sabbatical this summer and I had lots of time walking in the river valley to reflect and contemplate where I might next be going in my ministry. And part of what I concluded in those reflection times is that it's time for me to retire from full-time paid diaconal ministry in the church. It has been an amazing 25 years that I have spent with St. Paul's congregation, and I cannot be more blessed. It has been rich, it has been beautiful. And today I wanted to just share a little bit of what I've been thinking about in the last few weeks as I've thought about how do I want to convey the message to you that as of June 30, 2022, I will be retiring. I am sitting here in the library at the church because this is where it all began for me. When I arrived at St. Paul's, I was coming as a part-time youth minister. And this is where the youth met, in this place that's now known as the library, the Margaret Parsons Library. And about a year later, the congregation said, well, we would like you to be here for halftime. And so for halftime, I was working with youth and young adults in the congregation. And then in 2000, St. Paul's, you chose to take on an even bigger outreach challenge, the diaconal ministry of serving the university campus by sponsoring Faith Lift Campus Ministry. And you asked me to be the chaplain on your behalf. And that too has been so rich and so beautiful. I'm talking about us doing diaconal ministry together, because that's where we come alongside God's mission of love and justice and compassion in the world. And I joined with you at a time when this congregation already had a strong diaconal ministry. You were involved with Operation Friendship, you were doing quilting, you had already sponsored several refugee families, and shortly after I arrived, you sponsored the Kosovo refugees. So we were working together in diaconal ministry, and I was able to bring alongside the youth and young adults and the children in this congregation and to be involved in that ministry in a whole host of ways. One of the things about doing service in the world, and one is the ideal way to do diaconia in the world, is when people do it as a community together. And this community already had an ethos of welcoming and embracing the initiatives of the youth and the young adults and the children in its midst, and a commitment to nurturing relationships. Because as we all know, faith is not actually taught to people. It's caught. It's caught through relationships of love and compassion for one another and working together, serving the world together. And that's what you were already doing. And so I got to come alongside that and facilitate that with the youth and children in our congregation. You might remember the initiatives of the youth group when they learned about fair trade. The Paulettes welcomed that, and this youth became involved with part of the coffee time and the friendship, building relationships in the community, as well as educating the congregation about why we were changing over to fair trade coffee, for example. Another time that came to my mind in the past few weeks was when the youth initiated how could we be involved in climate change as a community? And they were the ones that came up with the idea of insulating the roof in concert with the property committee at that time. And that was a wonderful time where everyone in the congregation got involved in that project, along with the 5 mission and education trips that educated our teenagers to nourish relationships and build relationships among themselves, but also with the congregation as they fundraised to go abroad and see the world from a whole different perspective and learn about how other people in the world live and build relationships with them as well. And that has spawned all kinds of work and richness in their lives as people have gone on to work in politics, in international development, in teaching, and so many other ways. Community is a really big part of carrying out diaconia in the world. And there's another piece that you played a significant role in, and that is in worship, in welcoming our children and our youth to participate and offer their leadership in worship. You may remember some of the musicals that we did over the years and a number of plays that they presented to the congregation to help us all to reflect on how we connect with the sacred and divine love that is present in the world, and nourishing us and inspiring us as adults in the congregation. Those are just a few of the things that I hope we will share in person over the next 7 months as we talk one-on-one and in small groups, and look forward to the future, what your future will be, what my future will be, and celebrating our 25 years together in diaconal ministry.